Hey everybody, welcome to the Widgets and Wonders. Today I'm checking out battle squares, some classic rank and flank sort of terrain included basing options for your classic rank and flank games. So anything from historicals through to things like Oathmark, Old Warhammer, and all the other variety of sort of like classic maneuvering big blocks of infantry games. This is a great sort of like scenery attached just paint and rock and roll magnetized basing option, and they're ready to go. As you can see, they're already packaged. We're gonna open some up and try them out on my magnetic carrying station, my big army transport box from Army Box, and I'll show you the models I'm gonna be basing on them, and you'll see them in the future on the paint table. So anyway, let's take a look right now. So here we go, battle squares, trays, and bases from StudioLevel. And these are made in Poland and come pre-assembled in the cases of the big trays and pre-drilled with magnets. So let's just dive right in. I've opened up one of the trays just to give you an example. What we have here is we have metal sheeting with 1, 2, 3, 4 edges pre-attached, already glued on, and then all of the rare earth magnets already inserted into these bases. So if you want to see the strength of just the magnets in general, there we go. He's only pull one off. They are wonderfully strong rare earth magnets on a piece of steel. It looks like stainless steel sheeting to keep it from oxidizing. And they come in a variety of different textures. It looks like all 20 of these are unique. Giving them a quick once-over, I couldn't find any duplication on this tray. And that means that you've got like a pile of basing options for a whole unit here. These are 25 mil squares. They're available in a variety of sizes, but I'll be using these for Oathmark. And the nice thing about Oathmark is all basing is uniform. Everything's on 25 mil base. You don't have to worry about any kind of like buying different bases or different base sizes, unless you're going with cavalry and monsters and stuff. But even then, it's 50 by 50, so it's just 4 of these together, or 25 by 50. So it's all by 25s, which is convenient for your movement trays and convenient for your gameplay and stuff as well, because everything has the same frontage basically, as far as like infantry and stuff. They're available individually, so I've got a nice pack of 10 individual ones here. You can see these are the same designs, so the 10 here from this package are the same designs as 10 of the ones that are in here. And they've got some skulls. I mean, they're appropriately grim and dark. There's some skulls, there's some rib cages, some rocks. And if you want to see an example of one painted up, there are some, it looks like pre-painted options too. This is a chariot size base, so it's 50 by 100. You could use this for like a large monster, some type of infantry. I'll probably use this for like a war engine or maybe a monster. For my dwarf army, and they are primed black, you can see here with spray, and then just give it a nice dry brush. The detail is super rich, so a dry brush and wash, which is obviously what this is. Picked out all of the designs, and then they've just added some grass tufts, and they look great. Also available in regiment stands, so if you are like me and you like painting quickly, what I'm going to end up doing with these is doing probably my front command with these. So I'll do my command strips from the infantry mobs for the big units with these, and the units that don't have command, for instance. So my plan is to do heavy infantry, spears, and then bows, and then like the heavy hitter infantry as a second unit. And so I've got 4 different unit types, and the bows I think I'll keep as 10s, and then this one I'll do as another unit sort of starter. And I'll have extra spares too for the 25 mils for doing more heroes and even maybe another unit. And like that'll give you some like individuals to run around with and stuff as well. So let's take a look at how they attach into a metal-based movement like carrying case, because obviously that's going to be the big thing is once they're on the tray, how do they actually sit in one of those? To show that off, here's one of my heavy support trays from Army Box, and here is the sucker. Well, let's see. Whoa, there we go. It has, I think, 4. Oh my god, that's hard to get off. It has 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like maybe 75 millimeter. Yeah, this is 75 millimeter, 7.5 millimeter, or 7 millimeter magnets. Pretty serious. And yeah, that's not going anywhere. So even those individually, there's a individual base as well. How's that one? Oh, not making a lot of contact there. Okay, so now if that happens, here's the reason for that. You can see there's a bevel because it's poured. Just get yourself a piece of sanding block and sand down those bevels. It's because the corners are popped up on this. So it's always worth testing before you start moving stuff, whether or not stuff will magnetize down. that's just by, the smaller bases probably will never have that problem. Yeah, that's gonna stay. But the bigger bases like these, if you do get edges that are beveled, I'm sure these individual ones will be fine. Yeah, they're not going anywhere. See, the bigger the base is, and luckily this is on a steel sheet already, so it's not gonna ever have the corner curl problem. The corner curl will cause the magnets just to not be able to adhere because they don't have any kind of contact. So just get yourself a sanding block, sand down those corners, and it'll stick right as rain. You go 2 minutes of sanding, you can see, just to bound off those edges. Obviously wearing a mask because it's resin, and stuck right on. So if you do encounter that, that is my recommendation. Anytime you use poured resin bases, just do a double check and make sure that they are flat. You might need a little bit of sanding, but for the most part, the smaller the base, the easier it's gonna stick. And the trays themselves have no issues because, as you can see here, it's a steel sheet with magnets on it, and they're not going anywhere. So I'm excited to get this stuff all based up. I'm gonna build some dwarf infantry. I'm stoked about these Oathmark dwarves. Got some spears, bows, and shields there. And the heavy infantry can be built with a variety of different weapons as well. And then all these awesome North Star heroes to base up on this, and then get painted for some classic rank and flank this year with some Oathmark. So I'll show you those on the paint table coming in the future. I'll link all this stuff below so you can check them out. And if you are looking for a variety of sizes, the 25s obviously are the ones for Oathmark, but they're available in all kinds of different shapes and sizes because it's resin, so you can pour them however you want. One health and safety thing, of course, if you're ever going to sand resin like that, always wear a mask, at least like an N95 mask. Better even still to wear a higher filter mask, keep that out of your lungs. That stuff is super bad for you, just like if you're working with any kind of fiberglass or something like that. You don't want that stuff in your lungs. So anyway, we'll see you next week for more Widgets and Wonders. Till then, I'm Ash. We're in. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you want to support the channel, of course, like and subscribe and hit the little bell below so you get notifications when I post future content. I do post stuff 7 days a week. If you want to support the channel further, you can, of course, buy a t-shirt through Spreadshirt, buy a measuring gauge or objective markers from Death Ray Designs, or, of course, most importantly, there is Patreon. Patreon is what makes all this possible, keeps the lights on, pays for the studio costs, pays for the equipment, model costs, and everything else, and most importantly, puts food in my kids' bellies and a roof over their heads. Big thanks to everyone, past, future, who supported me. I do this stuff because of you guys, and of course, I will continue doing it as long as I can.